Today we will see how to proceed to check the tensional and thermal state of the continuous welded rail. Let us first see how to set up all the necessary fixed references. Inside the supplied kit, you will find the tools you will need, the mechanical jig and the marker and iron points. Separately, you will need a portable, battery-operated drill, a marker, a rail bearing and a mallet. The pegs that are also used to check the CWR must remain completely immovable over time. The correct tightening and immobilization must be checked by also placing a reference mark on them. The mechanical jig must be fitted completely onto the peg in an almost vertical position by tightening the clamp. With the marking bit inserted into the hole of the jig, an initial shallow impression is made on the post. This is necessary to ensure the subsequent refinement of the impression with a normal 6 mm diameter iron drill bit. The impression, which constitutes the fixed reference on the electric drive post, must have a lateral depth of approximately 2 mm to allow for the engagement of the latch mounted on the instrument. Now apply the tool to the peg while simultaneously engaging the latch in the impression just made. The laser is switched on, collimated at about half the height of the stem of the furthest rail, and an initial provisional reference is made at the collimation point. The operation of removing and applying the instrument must be repeated several times to verify that the collimation point is always the same. Once this certainty has been reached, proceed to the definitive marking of the rail using the burin and drill with a normal iron point. Without releasing the tool, the shank of the neighboring rail is now also collimated and the marking is made. If you are operating on a newly adjusted track section, the activity of setting references is finished. Now it is necessary to access the master data and under CWR parameters, choose the correct indication of the positive direction of movement and proceed to save. If you are working on a track that has been adjusted for some time, where there is the traditional marking drawn with harmonic wire between two references outside the track, you still have to carry out a final survey with the wire and report the values read in the registry for that pole under initial track displacement right and initial track displacement left. When, at a later date, surveys are to be carried out, they will be done in a very simple manner using the subsidiary instrument with optical implementation. You apply the instrument to the topographic pin, taking care to check that the latch fits correctly with the impression under the pin. You lower the tilting ruler and project the laser beam onto the stem of the individual rails. If the laser spot deviates from the original to the original marking, place the optical plate in the appropriate housing and rotate it until the projection of the beam coincides with the engraving. The tilt ruler is straightened and the projection is read off on the laser. You transcribe the displacements detected on the smartphone in readings, CWR, and with the correct sign, positive or negative, according to the graphic representation. For each individual location, the data are saved. The system allows real-time processing of the thermal standoff value of individual rails between two survey points by identifying them in the pole pair management menu, where the control temperature of the section is also to be indicated. Automatically, thanks to the pole pair management setting, the app processes the data and indicates the deviation of the control temperature. These reports can be exported to a personal computer. On this YouTube channel, there are 2 short practical videos on how to carry out the initial marking and subsequent tension state control measurements of the continuous welded rail in operation, which we recommend viewing. Once the surveys have been completed, the computer can manage the data and automatically generate the Form 2 according to the RFI standard using the executable supplied with it. It is necessary to proceed as follows. The DTP, UT and maintenance unit fields are filled out in free text format. The destination and storage folder for the forms is created on the PC. Form 2, which is to be kept for all future updates. This folder must be called up in the Destination Folder field. In the field below, the .csv file exported from the Report LR menu of the app and saved on the PC. The Generate Files button appears and should be clicked to generate or update the form attachment to up to 25 times. All of the above can be found in the user guide and on the slides provided with the Certain all-in-one tool. Thank you for your attention and see you at the next tutorial.